Yep. So I want to thank y'all very much for tuning in. We're gonna let some people get up in here real quick, and we are about to get on with our first guest for the day. It is my homegirl, Pre the Honey Dog. Amazing MC, amazing lyricist. She is a part of a group called. She was a part of a group called Anomalies. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So we're about to get this started, get this popping with her, and we're gonna get this thing working. Here we go, here we go, go, go. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're about to get this rocking. We got a lot of things coming up for now and then. First, I got my website that's getting made up right now, so y'all really gonna have a lot of fun with that. I got some t-shirts, merchandise, some dope hats, dope sweatshirts, dope t-shirts. So we're really about to freak that. We got a lot of things going on. I'm really looking forward to 2021. It's about to be a real super year. So I hope everybody, is really prepared. Forget staying being all down because, we're not outside or whatever. But that's okay though. We're about to get this thing popping. So here she goes, Pre, and there you go. You just gotta accept the invite, and we can get you in there. Okay, we'll send you another invite. All right, so I see you up in here. All right, you see the join button, Pre? There you go. There you go. Ha! I gotcha. There you go. So I want to thank you very much, Pre the Honey Dog, for being on. You were always one of my favorite female lyricists. I lie to you not.
Thank
Uh,
you so much.
when I first met you, it was at the Lyricist Lounge show about 15 years ago. You were performing.
Mm,
Yeah, I hate the
the,
dates, but I gotta be, it's just real with, how long you've been in the game.
mhm,
And you were a part of a group called Anomalies.
exactly.
A
Still
lot of
part
things.
of the anomalies.
You're still in the group. I'm so happy to hear that you're still in Anomalies.
Those are my siblings.
There you
We're
go.
all together.
I'm loving that.
We're all like it's like we're all still together, but have like all these like family things happening. But that's my family. All our
Got,
kids grew up together. It's
got
amazing.
real life happening, right? So right now, like, I want to go through a lot of things and I know, you short on time, so I definitely want to get to it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I am so under the weather right now. I am like out of it. Hi, Steffi. I see Steffi. That's my Steffi. Love
All
you,
right.
Steffi.
Got my homie in here, Sir Skills. What up, Skills? So you're an MC, producer, photographer, a mother, and you also have something that you're doing with the do-it-yourself skills. I want to get into all of that.
Okay.
So let's start from the beginning. What made
Wait.
you
I'm
what
sorry.
made you no, please shout the people out. Give them love. I love that. So what made you get on this hard road of being a lyricist? Because y'all aren't rappers. Y'all are lyricists. Like y'all are really about y'all pen game. Like y'all pen game is mean. So what made you want to be a lyricist?
Um, I wanted to be a lyricist since I was a like kid. I didn't know I didn't know what it was at that time or at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was just, freestyling or whatever. And then I heard Tila Rock's It's Yours. And I feel like I was like some sort of, I don't know, some barbecue or something like that. And then we were homeless a lot, so we moved around, and we wound up going um, to Far Rockaway.
Okay.
And while in Far Rockaway, I started attending school there, and then that's when I met my brother, rest his soul, IG Off from IG Off and Hazardous. So we went to school together, and he started teaching me how to freestyle.
Okay.
And that's when I really started like you know, like really like getting into it, like the freestyling. He's the one who taught me how. And then he's also the one who started calling me Pre because my name was Capri prior to that. So he started calling me Pre prior to Pre Honey, prior before I started calling myself Pre the Honey Dart. And then we left Rockaway and we went to Flushing. And then I started going to John Bowne High School. And I think the pivotal point is when when I met Large Professor, because we all went to school. It was Large Professor Akhenaten. Like we were all in John Bowne High School, and
Oh,
he was like that clique was like the only like friends I had at that
right.
time, and he would have these meetings where we all had to meet at the lunch table, and we had to do these minutes, and each one of us had an assignment, and I didn't. That was like my first introduction to the business side of it because I didn't know I didn't know there was like a business aspect of music. I just knew that there was, you know, rhyming and hip hop. And so he introduced me to the business side, and that kind of shifted me in how I thought and how I started, you know, realizing things. And I started paying attention to the market of music. I started paying attention to how people were making money and how we were not making money. And that became kind of like a mainstay for me. I started, you know, like figuring out the back end because I was always a person of even though I love ramen, I was always a person of the back end.
Right. And that's one thing I found interesting about y'all because I never forget um you guys y'all were performing at the Lyricist Lounge I was hosting, and it was during the sound check, and I was watching y'all like not only were y'all beautiful women, but y'all were just lyrically dope, but y'all wasn't pushing the feminine side. Y'all wasn't pushing y'all beauty. Y'all were more like, no, we here to blaze the mic. And I was
Mm-hmm.
wondering, like, y'all had record labels dying to sign y'all. But y'all felt like, you know, from what I heard from y'all, y'all felt there was more of a freedom not being tied down to any big record label and doing it kind of like on your own. Am I correct about that?
I think that is actually like one of the main reasons that the because Anomalies is like a collective, so everyone in Anomalies had their own thing happening, and we came together to form this, you know, collective of lyricists, MCs, b-boys, DJs, and we had like, you know, different. We had five main core members, but we had like different versions in different states, and the main issue that we had with I'll speak for myself. The main issue that I had with a lot of labels, once again, was the business aspect of it. Labels at that time, they didn't know how to market women. They still don't,
Right,
truthfully. I mean,
right,
they didn't know how to market, and they also like you also had to be mindful of your money because they were extremely they were extremely um, how you call it they were shady.
right.
They
Yeah, just say it. They were shady.
shady. So it was like you would go through all of this. And like for me personally, my personal experience in dealing with major labels was I would always go through this whole thing, this whole colorism issue, which was like really dominant. And I believe it still is. Whereas because, you know, my skin was darker and, I have braids now, but I wear my hair, you know, short fro, whatever.
Right.
You only had like two type of women. You only had two women that they wanted to market. You either were, you know, Lil Kim or Lauryn Hill. Like there was no like that was it. Like there was just these two. I'm saying these two pockets,
Right.
and executives tell me that like they love my music, and I had started producing also, and I would tell my I would hear from record producers that I wasn't ethnic enough per se, whatever the hell I'm
Really?
saying, like or like and it was primarily because of that whole like half this half that, you know, situation that was happening, and
Okay.
it was, you know, I feel like dealing independently was way more. a way more stronger concept than dealing with a major, you know. And then they owned everything, so it was like,
Right.
you know, I was really, my focus was business. I mean, like, and it wasn't really about music for me, so it wasn't as important to me as it was to others.
Now that's smart because a lot of people don't really care about the business side. They care about the celebrity. And once they get the celebrity, they see they're really not making money and everything is kind of cloudy and it's, you know, it's really not everything that glitters isn't gold. So that was really a smart move. I thought that was really, you know, a bold move, smart move, but it was bold, you know. I give you credit for that. Now,
Thank you.
lyrically, all of y'all are just unbelievable. Like I said, y'all pen game is strong.
Shout
Y'all,
out to somebody.
yeah, shout out to Anomalies. Y'all pen game is like for real. Like, I'm one that's really about lyrics because of the way I came up. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
came up listening to the Grandmaster Caz's, you know, a lot of shows, yeah, a lot of shows that to me, Kaz totally changed the way everybody rhymed, even up to
Without
now, you
that,
know?
there'd be Sugar Hill.
Yeah, so you know,
But
yeah, exactly, you know, exactly. So he wrote that. And I love when people actually take time to write because it's, you know, that's a skill. And I noticed like you one of the illest MCs in battling. So I want to talk about the Blaze battle against Young Z. That was something that a lot of people still talk about. So tell me about
yeah.
that. Yeah, you know I was gonna ask you about it.
But shout out to Young Z though, because you
Right.
know we saw Young Z. The Blaze battle was interesting. Like when I did the Blaze battle, I was going through some serious stuff. Like, you know, like some really, you know, like depressing. I was going through it. So when I was asked to do the Blaze battle, it was more about I needed that stage in order for me to get through what I was getting through. It wasn't even about if I'm going to win. It was really like a small means of survival, of mental survival at that point. And then it turned out that I won, but that wasn't the premise when I entered. And, you know, and then IG Off was in the battle, Rest His Soul. And so it was like a situation of I might have to battle my brother who knows everything about me, you know. So
Wow.
that was kind of like, you know, it was kind of interesting. That was like my first major battle. And it was fun. And then, you know, like the whole Young Z thing and it's interesting. It was just interesting. Like I was, you know, for me, I was having fun with it and I wasn't really I needed that battle. Put it like that. I
No,
needed that battle.
no, that was good. I mean, that really amazed me because I was sitting there with my mouth open, like I can't believe what like you was going at it. Like, and now that I hear the story behind it, I could totally understand what pushed you there. You know what I mean? I think that was amazing.
And
So
it was interesting. It was like a blackout because when you're on stage, when you're actually in a battle, like now it's different.
right,
Like battles now from battles then were different because
right,
now like everyone comes with like a pre-written and your whole crew is like, you know, doing ad libs and you know and it's different. And back then, like a lot of the battles, if you lost your name. So like, you know, it was really you had to really like do whatever
right,
you had to keep that.
right.
But now when I do the battles, you know, and shout out to PH, Sean Price, Arch, and all
Yes.
of rest in peace. But now when I look at the battles now, it's way different from back then. It
Yeah.
is it's almost like Def Jam, Poetry Slam.
Yes.
It kind of gives me
Yes.
that vibe. It's like a
Yeah.
completely different vibe right now.
Yeah. And I noticed that, like, I'm like, how is this a battle? And people came with written rhymes, like, and their whole crew know them. But
Yeah,
things
but
change,
you know,
you know?
it is what it is. Like it is what it is.
So, are we gonna hear any new music from Anomalies? Y'all got anything new coming out? Anything coming up?
Well, as an individual, like everyone has their own things happening. Halix C. Armageddon is working on some new music. Invincible is focused on um, they became the board of directors. They're dealing with like nonprofits in
Okay.
Detroit and working with the youth. And um, Tara, Big Tara, she's like the fitness guru extraordinaire. So she's working in that realm, and I am working in the nonprofit creative youth, creative youth realm. But I am still working on music. I haven't. I've been focused on my nonprofit, but I'm still working. So I'm trying to see if I can. I'm actually trying to film my own video.
Okay.
Um, I'm a photographer, but this is my first time. I'll be going into the video aspect of it and see what happens with it and concept and everything that I put together. So I'm just curious to see how that's going to how that's going to come about.
I mean, I look forward to that. I'm really looking forward to it. And tell us some of the stuff you produced. If maybe where we can find it, if we've even heard it.
Most of my music production when I started producing besides myself was for television. So I was focused more in the licensing aspect. So I did like like background music for like MTV, BET, Viacom, and things of that nature. Like that's where my primary focus was. So I didn't like produce groups, even though I
Right.
was making beats and giving out beats. My main focus was producing
Got
for licensing purposes. So that's what I did.
That's very smart. That's
And
genius because you
I mean,
constantly get money like
I
that.
did beat battles and stuff like that. I was in that realm, but from a business perspective, I focused on where the money is.
Got you. So
That's in the licensing.
exactly. So tell me about your nonprofit because I hear you working with youth. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I started a nonprofit called the Creative Youth Society, and
Hmm.
what I do is I teach creative skills to at-risk youth to prepare them for creative careers because everything is becoming creative now, as far as like design and things. And so I teach them like lighting design, toy design. They learn graphic design, photography, furniture design, um, visual arts, fine arts, things of that nature, and then the whole point is to get them interested so that they'll explore it and then connect them with individuals who will bring them in and allow them to work under that way. Because right now, like youth, their automatic reaction is I'm going to get a retail job or a fast food job, and they don't realize that all these jobs are fading out. And, in our communities, we are the ones who don't even recognize all these other jobs exist. Like you can go work at a supermarket, but someone had to design that supermarket. Someone had to design that cash register that you're using. Someone designed the packaging. Someone branded the store. Like there's this whole other realm of, of career that a lot of youth don't know, basically. Like, and that's what me, like, I didn't, everything, most of the stuff that I do, like carpentry, scenery, construction, like all of these things were self-taught for me back
Okay.
then because no one told me. I had no idea it existed. So I had to teach myself, and that's how I fed my son. And so, to teach these youth to get them in that mindset where they understand their power because, the most creative are those who are in pain. So when you're dealing with youth who are dealing with homelessness, Department of Probation, or like foster care, or anything of that nature, that pain right there creates a whole realm of creativity, and that creativity could be the catalyst to economic growth for these youth.
That's genius. See, in school, they're really leading, especially minorities, toward jobs and working for someone. When in
Exactly.
reality, if you had an opportunity to see, hey, I can do this for myself, you
And
know,
if there's
it,
any time to think that, it's now. Like if there's any time to recognize how fragile your job is, and if there's any time to recognize how unstable everything is, it's not, it was obviously now. And now everything is shifting visually, everything is shifting to technology, and there's no, like no one's really I can't say no one's really, there are organizations doing it, but a lot of the youth out there, they don't know a lot of this stuff exists. You know,
Right.
you have to wake them up so that they'll, it's time to come off the street. It's time, time to start looking cute. And they don't understand it. They run this, like all of this, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all of that is because of them.
Right.
Like without them, none of that would exist. And they don't realize that, like, they are the powerhouse behind all of that. They're the actual CEOs of all of this social media, and they don't recognize it, or they don't know yet.
Can you
So my
imagine if we had cell phones, TikTok, Facebook, and all that when we were coming up in hip hop, like back then?
exactly. We didn't have anything. When you think
Nothing.
about it, we
Nothing.
were all like, we were all like 16 and 19, like doing branding and marketing and like touring and having our own managers and everything like that. Like it
Right.
was it was interesting, like and I thought about that the other day. I was just like, we did all of that and we were kids ourselves. And so, if we wanted to go viral, we had to literally get in a car and go from state to state and promote. And then we had to sell merch. Those were our downloads. We had to like sell at the table, and then you had to
Yes.
do it all over again. Like now, so much access to so many things that can be utilized to make money, and to brand yourself. Like, it's ridiculous. They do not realize how lucky they have it. It's a catch 22.
Exactly. Exactly. It was crazy because I was talking to somebody about that. I was like, we used to have to carry around actual wax records and like give them out, like your singles, and you had to sell t-shirts, you had to sell hats, you had to, give out flyers in the cold and the rain and everything to get people to come to your shows. And these kids got it good. They could just sit in their house behind a phone, make a beat, rhyme,
Exactly.
do a video. It goes out to millions,
But
millions
the
of
thing
people.
is, I feel like that's actually intelligent. The fact, when I see the youth doing that, I'm excited about that, because it's like they have, you have someone who's dealing with marketing, someone who's sitting behind a computer doing that. You have someone who's a videographer putting all this, whether it's on their cell phone or not, putting all of this together. You have
Right.
someone who's direction putting this together, someone who's doing set design, someone, like, they have all of these different things that they are doing, and they're doing it as youth. And
Exactly.
so they run this, and I want to see every single one of them succeed with it. So I love to see it. Like, people can complain about the youth coming up and this, that, and the other, and blah 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 blah. People said the same thing about us when we were coming up. But the fact of the matter is, they are utilizing these platforms to, to create, what it is that, they want. And so I respect it, and I'm not saying I am, I condone all the whatever is being said on every platform, but you have to do what you have to do. Like, we
Right.
had to do XYZ, they have to do XYZ, but now they have it way easier, and they have it they have a lot more power than they know.
Exactly, exactly, and I think it's beautiful that people like you are definitely reaching back and showing them that they have that inside themselves. A lot of them don't understand that when you're editing a beat or a video over your phone, you're now a videographer, and if you get good at it, you can actually make a career out of it. But a
Exactly.
lot of them don't see it because we're not exposed to it. We know to watch TV, but we don't really know. Hey, I can get behind the camera and see what's going on.
And
I
not
think
even,
that's really dope.
and you can get behind the camera, you can get behind the network itself, you can start your own conglomerate. There's a lot
Yes.
of a lot of directions that you can go.
Definitely. And tell me about your photography. Where can we see some of your photography? What type of pictures do you take?
I am, well, I am primarily a kids and women's photographer. So I am a pinup photographer where I transform women into vintage pinups. And I
Okay.
am also a kids photographer where I take kids and I transform them and I give them editorial style fashion shoots. I had to, like, kind of slow down because of the COVID. So I have
Right.
Honey Dark Kids and I have Playhouse Pinup Photography out there. I run those two companies, and hopefully I'll be able to pick back up probably by after the summer or something like that, to see, like 'cause it's crazy. Everything is different now.
Yeah, it is, right? Everything is different. I mean, is there a website anybody could go check out your stuff? Or what if I had my son, I wanted to get him into your program as far as trying to get him into videography and things like that. Where could we go to find that information?
You can go to creativeyouthsociety.org. That is the site for the nonprofit in which I'm teaching the youth, and
Okay.
for the like the kids photography, it's honeydarkkids.com.
honeydarkkids.com. So go check
Yeah.
that out, y'all. honeydarkkids.com. And now, I know you got to go. I just want to ask you one more question. One
Yes.
last
Good.
question. Top 5 MCs dead or alive.
Top 5 MCs dead or alive. The first one would be Tila Rock, because that's who definitively inspired me. Like that's where I started at. Grandmaster Cass, Sha Rock would be the third one. Pharaoh for Sean P.
Yes.
I'm running out. I've run out. I've run
One
out.
more. One more.
And who I love? I love Skills though. Skills is an ill lyricist. But yeah, like Sean P, Rock, Stowe, like a million people out there.
So those are your 4. I'll take that 4. I'll take that 4. So look, I want to thank you very much for being on. I really, really appreciate this. It's good that unfortunately it's on the internet because of COVID. We couldn't really bump into each other again, but you know what I'm
Why
saying?
we bumping like that?
Exactly. We definitely gonna get up. I can't wait to see some of your work. Everybody, just support and keep pushing them kids. And thank you very much. Yo, Nelson, I want to thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, she got a dope top 5, don't she? She's
Thank
no
you, everyone.
joke.
And
She
by
got
all means, please, if you can inspire youth, please, they need it right now. There's a lot of youth out there who are really suffering from this pandemic. Even though everyone's at home, there are some kids who are at home in not so great situations. There are some people at home in not so great situations. So I'm wishing everyone safety.
No,
Be
it's
well.
true. It's true that you touched on that because a lot of people aren't, especially kids, like they're kind of at the mercy of their parents' financial stability. So if your
Yeah.
father
And
gets laid
there's
off,
situations at home that,
yeah,
fortunately aren't that great. But, if you
definitely,
see whatever child you see, just give them some good words of encouragement right
definitely.
now.
So I want to thank you
Yeah.
very much for being on. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And
Thank
look, next time I want all 5 of y'all on. I want Anomalies on. We're gonna do this big one time, all right? Sometime in the future. All
Thank you
right?
so much. All right, my dear. All
All
right.
right.
Later.
See ya.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.